We fly, no lie, you know it's cooling.
And with all that being said, I've decided to continue my athletic and academic career at the Stanford University.
Yes, sir.
Network, it means everything to me. Back when I, didn't have all these offers, maybe like one or two, he was always promoting me, what I'm saying, trying to get me on the radar, this guy, you need to look out for him. What I'm saying? It really means, the world to me, Big, he's been there, like I said, since I've been small, always shouting me out and, always just trying to put me on, just give me notice more than I really appreciate it, Big.
I mean, shoot, I was the new kid. Faison kind of was with the Ducks for a little minute. So my first year, of course, he had all the hype. He was probably about like 6'2" at 12. He was a mutant. I ain't gonna lie to you. He was a mutant. But I mean, from then you could see just the potential he had. I mean, I'm not surprised he's the number one quarterback. If you would have seen him in youth ball, you would have thought he was the number one quarterback in that class back then. So I mean, like going against him kind of like prepared you already for like what high school was. I mean, he looked like a high school quarterback around that time. So I mean, like trash talking with him. He's more quiet though. I will say that he don't talk that much trash. But I mean, like trash talking with him, going out there and hitting drills with Faison. I mean, that kind of like just builds you ready. I mean, hopefully I play against him at college. I would love it.
As y'all know, this is the Sizzle News Podcast. What's going on, everybody, man? My mistake, you know what I'm saying? Little technical difficulties in the background. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Nas will be here in just a second. You know what I mean? We on some pumpkin seeds. We don't want to show the brand too tough because they ain't sponsoring the show. If you want to sponsor the show, definitely hit us in the DMs. But nonetheless, man, if you just tapped in, I'm assuming you just came from watching the Michigan-Oklahoma game. John Mateer is like that. I ain't the first person who went on record and said it. John Mateer is one of the ones, man, I'm getting it done through the ground, getting it done through the air. Now, I will say, man, Brother Bryce, I mean, we knew he was going to have some young man moments, you know what I mean, coming into his freshman year, $10 million man, Ric Flair of Michigan, you know what I mean, just not comfortable. You know what I mean, throwing off his back foot, kind of leaning back, trying to play middle infield. That ain't going to cut it. And we know Bryce is going to be a great quarterback one day, but just not his best. Not his best hour of football, you know what I mean? But had a good week last week. So, man, I ain't gonna waste too much of your time. Let's hop into the numbers, man. So let me pull up. Actually, let me let y'all see what the brother got going on. Definitely get at us in the comments. You know what I mean? We want to get y'all feedback on this Michigan game. All right, who is this? Ernest Hausman passed from Uganda to Michigan. Shout out to Africa. See, 142 passing yards. That's tough. So 9 for 24, 142 passing yards. Justice Haynes, you know what I mean? We know he's going to get it done. Alabama transfer came from Buford. 19 carries, 125 yards, one tuggy. Just what, you know what I mean? That's a good day. That's a good day. He did his job. I ain't going to. It would not see 2 touchdowns in a magnitude game like this, but the way Oklahoma controlled the tempo of this game, that's going to be tough to do. So 19 for 125 is excellent, averaging 6.6 yards a touch. Donovan McCulley, 3 receptions for 91 yards. So like I said, when Bryce, when he's, you know what I'm saying, when he's connected, like that was a big catch. That was a big bean top. I know Coach Kirk called it. I think Kirk Herbstreit called it a David Tyree catch. That was crazy. Let's keep going. Shannon Godwin won for one catch for 25 yards. So everybody outside of Donovan, man, and Justice Haynes, who's a running back who had negative reception yards, only had one catch. One catch. That was explosive. It was explosive. You know what I mean? But when you're playing a solid front like Oklahoma has, you know what I mean? Of course, with Coach, what's his name? The brother to Coach Harbaugh. With Coach Harbaugh, you know, being suspended, I'm sure it's not run as tight as we saw with, you know what I mean, the lack of getting to the line at a great time. We got a comment. I'm gonna get to you in a second, my friend. Actually, let me get in. Boomer Sooner, Lagway. You know what I mean? Definitely Boomer Sooner, man. It was a whole lot of Boomer and a whole lot of Sooner. You know what I mean? That sooner we would like to see Bryce get the ball out of his hands, but nah, most definitely, man. Y'all look good, looking like y'all gonna be a tough night out in the SEC, and that's what I paid y'all hard-earned money for. So for sure. Shout out to Boomer Sooner. Shout out to Oklahoma. But can y'all beat Texas? If you're still in here that way, do y'all have enough to beat Texas? That's my question for you, brother. But you know what I'm saying? Michigan's not running as tight as we saw with them not being able to get to the line. Coach had to burn 2 timeouts. Now, would it have mattered? Probably. Maybe. You never know. You never know. But the way Oklahoma, like I said, control the clock down the wire, it was tough. But you just got to, Bryce, as a leader of your team, you got to get everybody to the line. You got to communicate. You know what I mean? That's just the next step. But I'm not coming down too hard because, again, he is a freshman quarterback. You know what I mean? I learned that in college football. Freshman quarterbacks are not freshman point guards. You know what I mean? Freshman point guards, they can score good. Really, if you can read an offense in basketball, you'll be pretty good. But, you know what I mean? Just having a second and third year defensive end, defensive tackles coming your way, you got to make decisions on the fly. They disguise and coverages on a more consistent basis that you probably didn't see in high school. You know, that's tough. But I will say this: seeing Bryce Underwood OT7, I know people are like, baby, bacon. This is tackle football. But listen. I mean, the brother won OT. He beat that day? Was it Raw Miami? Anyway, it was Raw Miami. You know what I mean? Yeah, everybody knows about Rocky Fowler, the 7v7, OT7, elite athletes out of Florida. So literally by himself. One play touchdowns. He had a big arm. Everybody knows that. But I think once he puts it together, I don't even think once, you know what I'm saying, once Harbaugh gets back, I just think once he's had enough seat time, you know what I mean, seat time in the fire, you know what I mean, making decisions, stepping up in the pocket, which would be my first thing, man. Step up in the pocket, brother. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to rely on that arm talent all the time. Calm down, step up in the pocket, compose yourself, and let it rip. But it's just going to come with time. But let's, you know what I'm saying, let's further break down Oklahoma. Make sure we're still good. Cool. All right. So, John Mateer, 21 for 34, 270. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. We'll overlook the interception today because that wouldn't have been the biggest difference maker for Oklahoma. The special teams. So if you're still in here, Lagway, the special teams, man, your special teams got to travel. And when you're at home, it didn't, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, it didn't travel. Yeah, at home. I don't know if y'all left it in the dorms, but, you know what I'm saying? You don't need that going up against more complete teams. Not saying that Michigan isn't complete, but, you know what I'm saying? We see where the quarterback development process must take them. 19 carries for 74 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Like I said, getting it done. John Mateer is like that. In my humble opinion, Heisman candidate. I'm putting a stamp on him, man. Very talented. I believe coming out of Washington State. We know what Washington State has produced over the course of time. You know what I mean? In a short period of time. But nonetheless, I was very pleased with what I saw from John Mateer tonight. Running back wise, non-existent pretty much. 9, 6, 4. John Mateer had slightly under half of the carries, rushing carries. Longest run was 19 yards. That is it's a yellow flag for me. I'm not gonna lie to you, yellow flag. I like to see the running back, you know, get at least Well, I would like to see the average carries go up, average yard per touch go up. So I'll say yellow flag. But receivers, Deion Burke, 7 catches, 101 yard, 1 touchdown. Very nice, very explosive type of offense. 5-4-3, dispersed out. You know what I mean? He passes, got everybody kind of got their touches, averaging over a first down per catch, other than Troy Blaylock. So I mean, that checks my box. That checks the boxes there for me. Recording. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. Man, I need to see the defense now. What's going on? All right, here we go. Sammy. Only 1 sack tonight. It always feels like these are wrong. They always feel like they have a lot more sacks. I was watching the GT game today. I swear, man. I swear Christian Garrett, for all my Tech fans who's tapping, I swear Christian Garrett had more sacks. I swear Andre Fuller had more than a half sack today. But this why you pull out the bet. This why you pull out the paper on black and white. And I know they ain't capping on ESPN. At least I hope not. But I'm sure they aren't. All right. Michigan kickers money. Let's go to Michigan's defense. We'll probably further break this down when Naj gets in here. I would definitely want to get his opinion on the game. Cole Sullivan, solid game. 1 TFL, 1 sack. Jaden Manningham, TJ Metcalf, 1 pass deflection. Very talented DB. Obviously got an interception. So yeah, I mean, this is my biggest takeaway from this game, which is Bryce has got to be. He just gotta just seat time. Just seat time. That's all. So we're gonna transition to Duke, Illinois. Check on John, Luke Altmaier and the guys. Really, if you know what I'm saying, if you've been paying attention to college football last year, you know what I'm saying, we knew they were legit. But this is probably a lot of people's dark horse to make the CLB playoffs, and for good reason. 45-19, the Duke Blue Devils in the ACC. But this is a very good secondary that he just ate up today. 21 for 31, 296, 3 tugs, no interception, 9.5 yards per pass, no rushing yards, no rushing. I mean, that's 7 for 4, but that was probably him running in the rest. Not really a running quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Willingly. More of a, you know what I'm saying, pocket. He may get down and run, throw it, so he's a mobile quarterback in that type of form of fashion, but not a real run of the football. Caden Fagan, 17 rushes for 48 yards in the tuggy. See, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm talking about when I'm cracking down on Oklahoma for not having the running backs get enough motion. You gotta have motion in the ocean. You see 17, 6 rushes, 1 rush, but 3 touchdowns. You just want to feed them backs. You want to get them used to get in the end zone and take me through that. You know, you gotta get them piped up. It's week 3. We're about to get into this real motion. So salute to the Illini's head coach for getting his backs involved and got a receiver involved as well. Excuse me, Hank Beatty. Little pile, little end around, little motion, little jet sweep. Jet sweep's been a hot play on CFB 26 and in college football as well. Hank Beatty, 8 receptions, 128. Justin Bowick, 4 receptions for 50 yards. See, it's you know what I'm saying. This Illini offense is very potent. Let's take a peek at this schedule real quick. You know, let me go to my email real quick as well. I need to get back on program. I gotta keep my game tight. We got a script. I need to be going to it. All right, bet. Drag this over. All right, back to the motion, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Let me go back and see if I got any comments. Appreciate all 57 everybody tapping in, man. It could be anywhere, but you're here with us. Flash the Boomer Sooner again. Boomer Sooner. All right. Friday. Oh, I gotta start the IG live. I'm tweaking. Boom. half screen so I can see what's going on IG since I'm already. Cape 10 _ Wilson. What's going on, brother? What's going on, brother? I see you tapped in. Let's get back to the matter at hand. Let me stretch this down. Boom. Appreciate you tuning in on IG Live, man. We're talking about we're going through Illinois, the Illini, or Illinois fighting Illini. We're going through their schedule. So 2-0 should be another win against this is Wyoming. The real test is going to be when they play Indiana. And a lot of people are like, is Indiana even the truth? I mean, I think Indiana's talented. You know what I'm saying? They got a good quarterback coming in, got some receivers. That defense is formidable. You know what I mean? So that's going to be a big test for both of them. I like Illinois. I like Illinois probably by 10. Very bullish on the Illinois Illini. USC should be another belt. Similar to that Duke game. At least Lincoln Riley, you know what I'm saying, has his guys ready to show up. As a matter of fact, let's speak at Lincoln Riley in the game. Okay, they got Michigan coming up. Yeah, they've been playing rinky dinks. Georgia Southern. I like Georgia Southern, you know what I mean? Shout out to Pishon Wembley. You know what I'm saying? Standout. I think he play all over the line. But for this situation, I believe he played right guard in high school. So Pishon Wembley been doing his thing down there. Shout out Mason the Great. Appreciate you tuning in on IG Live, brother. They got Purdue coming up, Michigan State, and Illinois. This is when we talk about USC right here. So they got a tough schedule, man. But we'll see. We'll see what the USC Trojans do. Back to the Illini. So Purdue, I think Purdue is a winnable game as well. Ohio State is going to be a big one. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the way Julian Saints been, the way he looked against Texas, I'm gonna take that line now against Ohio State. Hot take, but for me, not really a hot take. I just think this is gonna be Luke Altmaier's formal coming out party against Ohio State. I think Ohio State may be in trouble on October the 11th at Illinois. So, you know what I'm saying? He's at home, going to be comfortable. Y'all can clip it, whatever you want to do. Take it down, you know what I'm saying? Use it for your parlay. I don't ask for no percentage. All I ask is for the credit. But that's going to be a big one, you know. If they can beat Ohio State, they may run the table. But that's a lot. I just can't see them really running the table, though. Like going undefeated is what I mean. But what's up, Hooray Jeremiah? Appreciate you tuning in on IG Live. So we'll see. But I'm very bullish on the Fighting Illini. I want to make that very clear. So let's go USF, Florida. No, let's not do that. I'm already here. Let's just go back. Full scoreboard. And if you want me to break down the game, man, don't hesitate to get me in the comments. Like, hey, Bacon, you know what I'm saying? I know you're talking about Florida USF right now, but I want to talk about my Georgia State Panthers. We'll talk about your Georgia State Panthers. You know what I'm saying? We love Coach Dylan McGee. Bynum Brown, you know what I mean? 18-16. Another solid game. Well, decent game from Bynum Brown. 23 for 36. Could be a little better completion percentage-wise, but nonetheless, USF getting these gritty wins, winning on a field goal. And I didn't see the whole game, but I do know Ford tried to window down the clock. What's going on, Love 5 Turn? Appreciate you tuning in on IG Live, gang. Tried to run down the clock, and I'm saying didn't work out to fruition. You know what I mean? So Coach Billy, Coach Napier, then I was hoping they was going to be undefeated until they got to Tennessee to a big game on Florida State, whichever one comes first. But the boys didn't get it done. They ended up losing at the buzzer, literally the buzzer. I mean, the buzzer had like a 15, 20-yard field goal kick, so we knew it was going to be money. But nonetheless, man, let's get into the number. Let's crunch the numbers. Bynum Brown, like I said, could have been. Well, this is on the ground. 17 rushes for 66 yards, no tuggies. No tuggies on the ground, only one through the air. I'm assuming maybe a defensive score or a lot of field goals. Yeah, it looks like a lot of. Let's see, he got a lot of field. So three field goals. STF. Boy, y'all need names. Little Twin, appreciate you tuning in on IG Live. Marcana, we'll say stick the offense. Keyshawn Singleton, 2 receptions for 75 yards. That's big time. And 1 tuggy. Alvin Isaac, 4 receptions, 49 yards. Let's see what this is, man. From Norcross, I knew that name was familiar. Keyshawn Singleton. Oh, is it? I want to see if related to Singleton at Auburn, being from the state of Georgia. Probably Eric Singleton, if you're not familiar with who I'm talking about. I know Naj have a little insight for those who don't know, man. That's this Naj alma mater right there, man. You know what I'm saying? Naj is a Blue Devil. Truth be told. We got some action. The Blitz Take. What's good, family? Appreciate you tuning in, man. The Blitz Take. We got a little comment from TriStar, big comment. Oh, okay, my brother. What's going on? How long you been in the chat? But I got you in. I got you in here. I'll get you in here live at B. If you're not ready, I'll push you back. He ain't ready.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, bet. I thought you was Googling. I ain't want to have you, you know what I'm saying, Googling and not saying that. I ain't going to have you go out bad, brother. But how you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. How you doing, bro?
I cannot complain, man. Just trying to go through these games. But you was boots on the ground today, right?
Arizona State, Mississippi State.
All right. Let's go there. So what I'm saying, what did you like? What didn't you like about that game?
Yeah, I think it was a sneaky pick, to be honest. I was actually supposed to be at this USF game that we're looking at. I ended up going the other way, and that's my fourth game, boots on the ground, fourth upset, man. I haven't had a favorite win yet wherever I've been. Arizona State lost the turnover battle. The only thing that they really led was in time of possession and running the ball, but that more so was a reflection of them struggling to score the ball. Mississippi State passed more yards than they did. Mississippi State was able to defensively create more turnovers, and of course ultimately score more points. So there was low key a little bit of buzz and hype on this game. Mississippi State doesn't have a lot of expectations this year,
Right.
and Arizona State laid it done, man. They weren't able to do what they needed to do. Welcome to the lost column, guys. So Arizona State go back to the doldrums. I know they had a magical season last year, but you got to be able to win on the road. The Pac-12 or Pac-10 or whatever you want to call it. So a lot of those teams aren't as strong as some of the other folks in other conferences. Big 12, where they're currently at, their second year, I believe, in the Big 12. It's weak, man. We don't know who's going to win. We don't know if it's BYU. We don't know if it's Colorado. We don't know if it's Utah. We don't know if it's Kansas State. We don't know if it's Iowa State that won a game today. Arizona State, everything that you want is still in front of you, but you weren't able to take care of business against, at the very best, a middle-of-the-pack SEC team. So there you have it.
But that's an upgrade for them because they've been like bottom of the pack. They've been like the bottom of the bottom.
I still think they're the bottom, but we'll see. Mississippi State didn't have a lot of expectations, but I think this win alone is enough to make them happy for the rest of the year. But they'll be getting the belt for the rest of the season. You better believe it. Or are they this year's Vanderbilt, where they kind of find a way to get to 500 and upset a couple folks? I don't necessarily see that myself. I can't really hear too much from those cowbells that were ringing, but yeah. Shout out to Mississippi State for handling business today. Arizona State, time to get back to the drawing board.
Time to get back to the drama. I ain't gonna lie, brother. Bless you, man. I don't know how you did it with them Cowboys. I know it was at an intense vibration down there, man.
Very intense, very annoying.
But from your perspective being on the field, man, looking at Mississippi State, because there's been some analysts, I believe, that came on record and said, "Oh, this is supposed to be year." I mean, I might have read it in my Lindsay's magazine. It's supposed to be they're under a new regime, I think. They're bringing in some recruits, and they're supposed to be trying to turn over a new leaf. From what you saw on the field, do you feel like they look more like a team, or is it more organized ran? You know what I'm saying? I'm still new to the CLB landscape.
I don't really want to overreact based on the game. I do like their quarterback. I have liked their quarterback since the summer. I think he gives them a better chance to win than a lot of other
Mm,
quarterbacks they've had. He's probably the best quarterback talent wise in terms of ceiling since Dak Prescott. The kid is pretty solid. And there's a lot of pieces here, man. Arizona State were ranked high based on this is the thing. This is why there's so much anarchy towards the beginning of the season, because a lot of these teams are ranked high based on what they did the year before, bro.
right,
Um, and Cam Scatterbo ain't walking through that door. This is not last year's Arizona State team. Um, Arizona State struggled last week badly. They barely won if you go ahead and check their game. So
right.
I think this is more of a representation of Arizona State really not being like that than more than Mississippi State turning a new leaf and them being a year where there's actual change. So congrats to Mississippi State, but I'm still not buying that they're any sort of anything more than a middle, at the very best, a middle tier SEC team rather than just a bottom tier, which a lot of people project them to be this season.
Now, what about their running backs? I saw they had about two running backs. I know one running back was over 100 yards against Mississippi State. What's his name? Oh, two. You got Raleek Brown, Kanye Udo.
Yeah, they were able to run the ball. That's the only way where they won. But when you don't capitalize that on enough points, then I'm not gonna say it's an empty stat, but that's the main reason why they controlled the time of possession so strongly. They were able to run the ball, but they weren't able to punch it in, man. And like I said, those two Sam
Mm,
Levitt turnovers killed any sort of momentum that they had. Can't have that. Sam Levitt is a veteran quarterback. Can't turn the ball over on the road to an underdog team. Weird things happen, man. Weird things happen, and fortunately for them, they can get back to the drawing board and still have everything that they're looking for in front of them, which is a Big 12 championship and a berth in the playoff. I don't believe the Big 12 is going to get more than one team in this year. We'll see. Um,
mm,
but if they don't, it's for reasons like this, right? If you have one of your better Big 12 teams losing to teams they shouldn't lose to on the road, unranked, um, this kind of affects the perception of what the conference is um, when it comes to playoff selections and things like that down the line.
100%. So it's safe to say Will Levis not there. You probably won't be playing on Sundays, at least as a starter coming out the gate.
I don't think so, no.
All right, for sure. You had to get it from the source. But
Shout out to
last
Sam
thing,
Levin, man, but no, this isn't an elite. He's not an elite quarterback prospect, no.
for sure. But before the fans and for myself too, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of walk us through, you know what I'm saying? We don't get out to Mississippi. We don't get out to the Bible Belt too often, too tough. So just how was it, you know what I'm saying, walking in, you know what I'm saying, smelling the grass, feeling the environment, you already talked about the cowbells, which I hope nobody else has to endure as a media person, but nonetheless it has to happen.
Yeah, I think that's the fun thing about what I get to do is you get to go to a lot of these different stadiums and, you know, be around these different environments. I'm not saying it's the greatest, Starkville or Stark Vegas, whatever they want to call it. I'm not saying it's the greatest environment on earth, but they at least have an identity, right? I mean,
Right,
if you have a unique identifier, I'll take that over any. I mean, there's over 120 Division One teams. There's a lot of teams that are just status quo, right? Just you're just walking into another stadium, just might look different. The climate might be different depending on where you are, but Mississippi State is known for that, right? Penn State's known for their whiteouts, right? Uh, Florida's known for the swamp,
right,
and singing Tom Petty in the fourth quarter. Florida State's known for the war chant, right? All these schools have certain identifiers, and Mississippi State at least has their own swag to it. So, um, if you haven't been there before and you have an opportunity to catch a game, yeah, I think it's a good place to watch a game. And of course, in SEC ball, you never know what can happen, right? So, at least that element is there of surprise. And that makes things really, really cool when you're able to visit places like that.
All right, brother. We appreciate that in-depth breakdown, brother. You know what I mean? SB, you know what I'm saying? SB Steve, he be everywhere, man. So if you a college football fan and you see the brother, you know him because you're gonna see the hat, you're gonna see the star hat, man. Make sure you give the brother, you know what I'm saying, what's up, hey, you know what I'm saying? If you got it, hook a brother up with something, you know what I'm saying, with a little something to chew on, man. Let's food, man. Clean
Please,
food. Yeah.
please, absolutely. Food is always welcome.
So I mean, I do want to get your take. I mean, I know people like, man, Becky, first they had a cakewalk today. They didn't really play nobody, but I got a Seminole guy right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call you an insider, you know what I'm saying, for the sake of conversation. But just what was your thoughts on the selection y'all put on East Texas A&M today?
Man, I think it worked out pretty ideally. Almost 800 yards of offense. You were able to get your starters out. Most importantly, get your starters out healthy for the most part. There was a couple guys that got dinged up, but there won't be any sort of long term effects from it. From what Coach Mike Norvell was able to say in the presser.
Mm.
Um, you got a bye week coming up. You got Kent State after that, then you got Virginia on the road on a Friday. So in my opinion, there's about 20 days before you actually face like a legitimate team. I know Virginia took a tough loss today to NC State. Um, we saw their ability to score points on their end, but on our end, man, I mean, Castellanos had an extremely efficient day. Several deep balls, 3 touchdowns. Deuce Robinson, I think he broke the program record. He had about 160 yards in the first quarter alone, as
Mm.
well as multiple touchdowns. So Deuce, that's what they brought him there for. He's a legacy. His father played under legendary coach Bobby Bowden. Won a couple ACC championships. His dad, Dominic Robinson. So Deuce, who's in the USC transfer, a legacy, coming back home and being productive is extremely important. He's 6'6" and he can run, man. I think, um, you know, during one of the interviews this season, one of the players talked about how they're really trying to get a focus on him and another receiver, Squirrel White, to get to the league. And Deuce has those kind of physical abilities to get there. Running the ball, I mean, you had 4 different running backs score, right? What more else can you say? You had Earl Thomas, arguably one of the top safeties in the country this year. Excuse me, Earl Little, not Earl Thomas.
Hey,
Shout out to
boy.
Earl Thomas, who was also a great safety.
Yeah.
But Earl Little Jr. He had an interception today. Our Florida State's #1 corner, Jerry Wilson, got an interception today as well. You got guys getting in the fold defensively, man. But 800 yards of offense, you're able to get out unscathed without any major injuries. This is what good teams do. They handle business. If the team's bad, they blow them out really badly. The spread was 45. If you were up with the good guys today, you made some money. So they're more than welcome. They more than covered the spread. So um, week off, game planning for Kent State, and then Virginia on the road on a Friday night, which I expect them to take care of business. Virginia does have a kind of sneaky, athletic quarterback, sneaky offense, but defensively, I don't really like their team at all. And then Miami on October 4th, which is going to be a big one.
Absolutely. So Castellanos, you believe in his throwing ability. So if he had more passing yards, well, he's gonna have more passing yards and rushing yard probably anyway. But you believe in his arm. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, most people do. The ones that don't just kind of criticize him based on where he was at Boston College and some of those numbers. And even then, he had some pretty solid numbers. Turnovers just an issue back there, but you have to really understand. And it's no disrespect to anybody that played with him at Boston College, but the offensive personnel is completely different. Um, he played in a style that more suited his abilities at first. Then, former NFL coach Bill O'Brien came in last year, who's still there, and put a pro style system in there without the weapons to be effective, and he didn't do as well, which is why he transferred, which is why he went to Florida State. So, um, yeah, I believe in his arm all the way. I think there's a very unique set of um, pass catchers on his team. Deuce Robinson, which we mentioned, Squirrel White was more of a speed deep threat.
Mm-hmm.
You have Javon Boggs, who's Mr. Florida, in the state of Florida, a freshman who scored his first touchdown today. He was, Mr. Florida above Jeremiah Smith. He had 2,000 yards receiving last season, 2,000 as a receiver in the state of Florida, in a top classification school. That's no joke. So the receivers are there, the tight ends are there, the running backs. You had our freshman running back Usman Kromov from Lee County scored a touchdown today. One on the ground rushing as well as one, I think it was a 60-yard reception. So anytime you get to running backs able to operate out of the backfield, your receivers are catching balls deep, you're hitting explosives. I mean, completely different offense from what we saw last year. We probably scored more points today than we scored all last season. So those guys, shout out to those guys, man. When you're a good team, you handle business. This is how you beat. beat teams when you're a good team. You don't let them hang around um, like some of these other teams that we're going to talk about as the show goes on.
Nah, 100%, man. Definitely gonna shout out Asmani if you didn't before me. Over 80, right around 80 yards, all-purpose yards a day. He's got his first tuggy today, man. So you always want to shed a light on the Georgia players. So shout out to the big man from Lee County for putting on the show today for the folks in Tallahassee. Got a comment from the Blitz take. Shout out my guy. Thoughts on Big Ten Conference after 2 weeks of action. Like I talked about it a little bit earlier. You know what I'm saying? Ohio State solid, right? The defense is, you know what I'm saying? It's solid. It's solid. But Julian's saying, I don't know if it's gonna be the quarterback when they play against elite quarterbacks. Like I said, Luke Artmeyer. I think I like Illinois in that game. You look at Penn State handling business. I think Penn State is probably the best big team right now collectively. With Drew Allen, I think Drew Allen's got enough on his resume to get his team over the hump. Michigan, we just saw about that game. I'll get your take on that as well, SB. Just Bryce got to have a little more seat time. We got to, you know what I'm saying, get under the fire a lot more. It looked good week one, but once you saw a legit front seven, kind of, you know what I'm saying, kind of threw off his back foot, you know what I mean? Just kind of looked at it looked like a deer in the headlights at time. So, I mean, that's the cream of the crop of the Big Ten. I think Iowa, I'm not sure if they won today. That's a good defensive team. I know the quarterback they brought in is supposed to be a guy that's possibly going to take that offense to the next step. I want to see Jeremy Hecklinski. So, you know what I'm saying? We'll wait on that. But that's a cream of the crop of the Big Ten. I may have missed one team, but that's all the snowballs, brother. But SB, man, just what's your thoughts on the Big Ten?
Yeah, I think Ohio State's legit. I like Julian saying that defense alone is enough to keep them in games. And offensively, when they figure it out, they're going to be dangerous. I think Penn State's overrated. And we're really going to see who they are on September 27th when Oregon comes into town. Another Big Ten team, defending Big Ten regular season champion, Oregon. Offensively, Oregon is doing well. Defensively, this might be one of the rare teams where their defense is better than their offense. We haven't said that about Oregon maybe ever. Maybe since the 90s. It's always been an offensive team. A unique identifier, right? So I think Oregon's going to clip Penn State when the time comes, but we have a couple weeks for that. Michigan's not ready yet, man. They can't hit explosives. Their passing game isn't intricate enough. They played an Oklahoma team at home that, was ready for whatever they were going to prepare. Michigan thought they were just going to run the ball 4 yards, 4 yards with a cloud of dust. They weren't able to do that. Oklahoma's defense with Brent Venables looks to be really good. But then again, Michigan is a bit one-dimensional, so the jury's out on Michigan. But if they don't get that cleaned up, they're going to have a long season. Illinois is sneaky. I really like Illinois. I like Altmaier. I like what Bielema's been able to do. They brought a lot of starters back this year. That's a team you're going to want to watch. And they're built to make a run. Iowa did lose today to Iowa State, and I believe this final score is 13-16. Another sleeper. I mean, typical Iowa football, man. No explosive for the most part. Low scoring defensive game. I don't think Iowa State. I don't think Iowa is any different from what they are any other year, man. You're probably looking at 7-5, 8-4. Best case scenario, but it certainly hurts losing to your rival, Iowa State, particularly this early in the season. Typically, we're used to seeing those late season rivalries. Thanksgiving weekend, things like that. But because Iowa did, because they're in different conferences and things like that, those things can be a bit difficult. But Big Ten took a shot to the face a bit with Michigan losing. But I think most of us who knew that Michigan is one-dimensional kind of expected this. So we're not necessarily surprised. We'll see what Indiana has moving forward. But it's Ohio State to lose at this point.
What about I forgot about Indiana. What's your take on them?
I think they're really good. I just don't think they're as good as they were last year. I think they'll struggle a bit more when they go into conference play, but I like what they're building there. I just don't trust their quarterback, man. Francisco Mendoza, he's experienced, man, but he's got a turnover issue. And I know the stats don't necessarily say it right now because it's been cupcake football right now, but when we get into conference play, I fully believe, I don't think anything's changed. I think he's going to continue to struggle turning the ball over. If he doesn't, then you got a guy that's sneaking into a lot of mock drafts. I don't necessarily like them as a prospect, to be honest, but yeah, I think they'll be okay. I just don't think they're a playoff team like they were last year.
I'm saying get ready to bring Naj in, but I will say this too. I think I just saw. Let me go back. Nebraska. I think Nebraska's got a shot. I think they got a shot knocking off Michigan. Big D, Big Dylan Rayola.
That's fair.
They good last year.
That's fair.
What's going on, Naj? How you doing, brother? You look locked in. You look like you're standing some numbers.
Yeah, sorry, y'all.
Oh, good.
Just looking at something. What's going on, man? What's popping, man? Happy Saturday night.
Happy Saturday night, brother.
Saturday, bro.
What's going on with y'all? How y'all day turn out?
Good, brother. I see you in that polo, dog. You look good. Like you be working hard.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it has been a busy day, man, for sure. 100%, man. How about y'all boys?
Even kill,
Can't
brother.
complain. Another Saturday with football. Can't complain, man.
That's true, man. Where was you at today? This week, Prod?
Mississippi State.
Oh, so you was there for them in Arizona State?
Yeah, you just talk
Another
about the
day,
Cowboys,
another
bro.
upset. I'm 4 for 4.
I know you talked about it. What was your thoughts?
I thought that sometimes we read into week 1 scores, particularly with ranked teams on how they perform. And Arizona State's performance last week was lackluster, and they kind of carried that same energy into an SEC environment and took an L. They turned the ball over. They struggled scoring the ball clearly, but honestly, man, they weren't expecting Mississippi State's quarterback to be that dynamic. Kind of caught them off. I mean, they probably did. I mean, I'm sure they game planned for it, but they weren't necessarily ready for that or the environment. But I don't know. Arizona State was a darling last year. They were able to sneak into the playoffs, but I don't think they got it this year. I think technically they're still, everything's in front of them in terms of winning the Big 12 and things like that. But nah, man, I'm gonna have to pick somebody else on that side. I don't like what I'm seeing. Sam Levitt with these turnover issues just makes me nervous. So yeah,
Got you. Okay, fair game. Fair game.
I do want to talk about the. I know Bacon, you were talking about it earlier. That Florida USF game.
Yeah. Let me pull it back up.
Oh, brother, that was the other game I was supposed to go to. Now,
What happened, man?
no, I figured it would be a dud, especially with what I was hearing about the quarterback not being able to play the full game. And then I'd rather go to the Swamp at night. That's just my preference, but either way, whatever way you slice it, upsets. They're about an equal distance from my house, so one's one direction, the other one's the other direction. But seeing this USF team, we talked about it last week on the show. They're still a bit one-dimensional. They do hit explosives here and there, which is important. But if their quarterback is consistent or was a bit more consistent passing the ball, you're probably looking at a top quarterback prospect. He's just such an elite athlete. We got to talk about Billy Napier, man. You're on the clock, buddy. They wanted to get rid of you last year. You got all this hype this year. You have the golden goose, this generational quarterback, and DJ Lagway. I don't see it, bro. I mean, this is supposed to be your year. You're supposed to be a sneaky team to try to, possibly contend for getting to the SEC championship game, a game you haven't been to since Alabama ended your dynasty in 2009. Haven't been to Atlanta since then. I think you have been once. I'm sorry. They were there, the Kyle Trask and Kyle Pitts year, but they didn't do well that year either when they got there. But when you look at the murderer's row of a schedule you have, you got to win games like this, particularly at home. This loss technically is not just on Billy Napier. DJ Lagway missed some throws. We had some young receivers miss some crucial catches and then ended the game. The defense did everything they could to keep you in there, but offensively they couldn't. They didn't do what they needed to do. They didn't run the ball enough. They didn't give Jaden Ball the ball enough. That's on them. But when you got LSU and Baton Rouge, you got Miami at Miami, you got Texas at home, then you got at Texas A&M. Those are your next 4 games. Good luck. There's a great possibility this guy can be 1-3. And if that's the case, I don't think he makes it past Halloween, which hurts my heart because I don't think he's a good coach. I'm a Florida State fan. I want to keep them in there, keep him in there so they stay mediocre. But this is a great job. The school has everything you need. If he gets fired, I don't know. Maybe a coach you saw lose today in Starkville takes a look at Florida. Maybe a coach that's out west, currently at Washington, takes a look at it. Maybe Jet Fish former UF alum takes a look at that Florida job. Maybe even Mr. Mediocre Lane Kiffin. Maybe he takes a look at the job. Who knows? But this is unacceptable. You can't lose games like this at home. And somebody please rank South Florida, man. That's 2 ranked wins,
Yeah,
two
they're going to be ranked.
2 upsets. It's time.
No way in
Facts.
hell they're not ranked next week for sure.
We've seen more egregious things though, but no, I agree. This time to put USF top. You could probably put them at that 25th spot. 25th spot. I think that'd be cool. But
I say get higher. What do you think, Nash?
Yeah, I would
Maybe
go like 21, 22. I think they should be up there.
A
I
little
mean,
bit.
you beat Boise at home and you were on the road to beat Florida in the Swamp. Those are quality wins, man. Whether strength of schedule, whatever you want to say. And then they got a tough one next week. I think they play Miami next week.
yeah,
It'll get no
They
easier.
got a
when they
real
play
big test. Yeah.
real big test. So yeah, I think they should be ranked headed into that Miami matchup for sure. To your point about Florida, man, these games you got to win. And they were terrible on third down, 4 for 12. That's not going to get it done, right? And his offense just looks too complacent, and it just does not have enough fervor to it, right? It doesn't. They're running 2 tight end sets. Like, run something else. Like, run something more dynamic. This offense is too convoluted, and it's too simple and plain. Need some bigger plays. Now, they don't have Dallas Wilson, who should obviously help the offense coming back, but they have all the weapons you need. And like you said, SB, they got what they needed from the defense. The offense has to do their part. They didn't do that. Not what was it, 3 field goals? It's not going to cut it.
Mm-hmm.
1 touchdown, 3 field goals. It's not going to cut it. Got to be better. Now, DJ Liver was not good tonight. He got to look himself in the mirror and see how he's going to respond. But the good thing is, SB, you got a big game next week. Week 3 is off the chain. Week 3 is probably one of the best weeks of college football. A couple other good ones in there, but week 3 is off the chain, which we'll talk about here later. You get to go prove yourself in Death Valley. Everybody thinks this LSU team is a national contender. Why not go in there and go show everybody, hey, we still in that conversation too, and we able to do it. Yes, we lost to USF, but we also in that conversation and shake up the whole college football world and go beat LSU.
While Bacon is saying his piece, Naj, I want you to look up the last time Florida won in Baton Rouge. You'd be surprised when the last time it wasn't there. And LSU's feeling it right now. So if I was a betting man, do not bet Florida going in there and winning that game. The blueprint is out on how to beat these guys. Even last week when they played Long Island University, there were some criticisms to be able to take from that game. This is just what they are, man. I think they're overrated. I think they've got great players, and I think if he's 1-3, he's gonna get fired. The amount of money they spend on this roster, what they're doing in recruiting, things like that. We talked about Billy Napier giving up calling the offense. I don't believe that was the case today. It looked like him and Austin Armstrong were rotating, calling plays, and they were never able to get into a rhythm, which feeds into what Naj was saying. You don't want to give up that responsibility. You still want to call plays, but you're hurting your team doing it, and you're not winning games. So, I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting if they lose or when they lose in Death Valley next week. Of course, everybody's got a chance, right? Whatever. But like I said, Florida, Miami, Texas A&M.
2016.
What were you guys doing in 2016? Don't even worry about it, guy. Viewers, don't even worry about it. That's a long time ago. They typically, LSU will lay a dud in Gainesville, but Florida hasn't been winning in Baton Rouge. And even before that game, they haven't been winning in Baton Rouge for a long time. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Good luck, Florida Gators. I was hoping you guys would be undefeated, but it is what it is.
So are we agreeing on the sentiment that it's more bad Florida than good USF, or is it a mixture of the two?
It's probably a mixture of the two.
Mixture of the two.
Okay. Mixture of the two.
I was saying, because you can't discredit what USF has done early in the season. You know what I'm saying?
The defense is solid, man. Those guys are out there hitting. Number 22 he's a player, man. He's gonna play on Sundays. Alex Golich won't be there much longer.
Yeah,
he's gonna get a phone call at the end of the year, whether it's Auburn, whether it's Bama if things get bad enough. Whether it's some of these other jobs, maybe even Florida. Who knows? He's gonna get a phone call at the end of the year. This guy's coaching for a job. He's doing a great job over there at USF.
100%. Fellas, about to transition. We're about to talk about Arch Manning. Is Arch Manning back 4 TDs against the Mountain West team, San Jose State, who we know that they produce league talent, more so on the offensive end, if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, Arch, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. So now I'm gonna start with you, brother. Just what do you think about Archie Manning's 4 touchdown performance today?
It was improved, but as you said, they were a little too sloppy in the win. Now again, this cupcake schedule, they're gonna play two more teams after tonight that aren't obviously the best. But the road test is gonna be when they have to go down to Florida. But he did look good. Still seeing some inconsistencies there in some of his throws, but you saw him in a much better rhythm. You saw Steve Sarkisian give him the keys and unload the offense, which is what you want to see. And you start to see somewhat of a semblance of a running game a little bit as well, which obviously helped with the play action, deep throws down the field, more big plays as well. So an improved game, but again, you take it with a grain of salt because, again, who they played.
Right, yeah, I would like to see them run the ball a little more. But what you think about this? Think about performance, SB.
He's right. They're sloppy. I mean, they didn't cover. Right, you're a betting man. They didn't cover.
Mm,
Elite teams are able to cover and put teams like this away by larger margins, especially at home. Um, so they're learning on the fly. It's one of those situations where they're learning on the job. They're not the most qualified candidate, but they have the job and they're kind of learning on the way. I am curious to see what it's going to look like when they're at Florida in a couple weeks, but they need to get this tightened up and get it tightened up quick. Offensively, they're okay right now, but they're not where they need to be. And if they don't kind of tighten up, they might lose that Red River shootout too. Um,
mm,
so, especially with being a preseason number one and all the pressure that comes with it, I think sometimes we lose track of the fact that these elite programs lose tons and tons of talent every year after the season to the NFL. And, you know, I believe they had 2 years in a row of double digit guys going into the league. That's 20 something players that were in your room that are leaving and leaving guys that just aren't as experienced. So stuff like that hurts. And this is what we're looking at. Games like this kind of show you that. But, you know, you should be happy with the win, but you didn't cover the spread and you're not really putting teams away like you're supposed to. This should be 60-7, not 38-7.
that's facts. I see Justice Terry in the stat line, 1 tackle. I mean, it's good to see him get some burn, but sub 300 yards for Arch Angle do it, and definitely I think they were 2 for 12 third down. I mean, that's not getting the job done. So I agree. Didn't see the game, but you know what I'm saying, numbers don't lie, people do. So yeah, man, didn't even barely dominated the time of possession. But I still think this Texas defense is legit, but Archer's got a. They just got to, and it's the same thing like I said about Bryce. He's going to take that seat time, even though this one against that, you know what I'm saying, eye level type of defense that he's going to see as the season progresses. But I mean, it's just going to take time, man. And it may not be this year, it may be next year. But we'll see. So let's move on. Unless I got anything I want to, you know what I'm saying, add on to that segment before we transition, fellas.
Mm-mm.
Say no more. Baylor upsets SMU 48-45. I think like what, one overtime game today.
Yeah,
So
that was a big one.
and it kind of went back and forth. And I think SMU was up and then kind of let Baylor inch back in the game. So, but I'm gonna start with you, SB. Just did SMU collapse today?
They did. They're up 14 points with a couple minutes left in the game. I think it was, I forgot, maybe 6-7 minutes left in the game. And they gave it up, man. They sold it. The Baylor of all teams. So that hurts them in a variety of different ways. That's not a rival, but an in-state competitor that's fighting for their life. And who knows? Maybe they have a shot in the Big 12 this year. But can't lose games like this. Crucial loss. Big blow in terms of the perception of the ACC. I think this is back-to-back weeks where you have one of their top-tier teams losing games that they were favored in. I think SMU still has everything they're looking for ahead of them, but it just shows you that the ACC is wide open this year. This isn't a conference loss for them, but I think the chinks were in the armor last week. You know, they played East Texas A&M. I think they only won 45-17 or whatever the situation may be. That's not a team that shouldn't be. The game shouldn't have been that close. If this is last year's SMU team, they probably put 70 on yesterday. Like Florida State put 77 on that same East Texas A&M team. So You kind of saw some of the chinks in the armor there if you really read in between the lines, but this is unacceptable. You can't. Rhett Lashley's too good of a coach to lose a game like this at home. This isn't good.
Nah, what you think?
Yeah, I just think you're going to see new teams emerge in the ACC. It ain't going to be SMU's. It ain't going to be the Syracuse's, who obviously we should talk about too. Bacon, they went viral today. With Coach Fran Brown had them running sprints after the game, which I love, by the way. I mean, that's old-fashioned coaching, and we need to see more of that. Too many coaches don't do that no more, and they capitulate and conform to these kids. So first off, I love that. But yeah, those were the teams last year. If you think about good in the ACC, right? We had the Clemsons, we had the Miamis, we had the Syracuses, and the SMUs. Those were the class of the ACC. I think this year you're going to see a couple different teams. Clemson should still be there, which we'll talk about here in a second. They struggled today against Troy. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
But Clemson should still be there. I think the new team that emerges is Georgia Tech. Miami will be back up there again. And in that fourth team, you're still trying to figure out, will it be Louisville? Louisville's had a good start to the year. Can they finish strong? We'll see. But I think SMU, you can't stop nobody. Sawyer Robertson threw for 440 yards. Lord. And 4 touchdowns?
Right.
Yeah, bro, that's just not going to get it done. And even when Kevin Jennings had a good game and they was doing anything, they could not get stops. 295 yards and 3 tubs is good. Only 6 incompletions. Yes, he had an interception, but you couldn't get stopped. You know, you got to be able to put the game away. You know, so if your offense go down score, you got to get a stop. They didn't do it the whole time. Baylor put up 21 on them boys in the second quarter and got back in the game. Just not going to get it done.
Nah, you're right. I think Jennings kind of saw there was they were about to go up, I think, on 14, I think, in crunch time. Kind of under threw a ball a little bit, I think, to a DB. He kind of took it, and it was kind of a snowball effect down here from that point on. But we do have a comment. Supreme Snipes, ASU sold my parlay, man. You're going to lose your money betting on Sunday, brother.
I like that.
Good son, you know what I'm saying? Try to cook a little something here and there, brother.
I like that.
Here and there. Right. But I do want to. I think we need to transition to that into Syracuse, man. You know what I'm saying? Because Coach had them boys running.
He did.
I'm saying, you must have locked assignment. You will run a mile. You dropped the football, you will run a mile.
And I think Coach did right. Like, y'all boys got to get it together, man. This is just not gonna cut it. We struggling against UConn.
Solid. It's solid. They don't do them like that. They're a pretty good team.
Enough. This is not UConn basketball. Okay, no. I'm struggling against no darn UConn at home. You know what I'm saying? You replaced a lot of stuff, but you should not be struggling. So I agree with Coach. I mean, he did right in having them run. Steve Angeli had a pretty, decent game. Not the best completion percentage. Got it together in the second half. But the problem with Syracuse, look at the stat. They don't have no running game.
Yeah.
So it's just an air raid attack. At least last year they had some semblance of a running game. They have to just throw it all the time.
417, 2 TDs, 1 interception.
Yeah, it's not gonna get it done. So that's why that boy had them running.
Just not physical or offensively like they were last year. Last year it was kind of you knew they were going to air raid it out with Pena and Gadsden, but we might start seeing Angeli, you know what I'm saying, get some more, improvise a little more, just keep the defense more on their toes. I know that's easier said than done, but I mean, you know what I'm saying, I think UConn, solid team. I think you undersell them a little bit, man. 21 for 75, you know what I'm saying, show some versatility, you know what I'm saying, Skylar Bell, 11 for 105 through the air. Quarterback ball over. Huh?
21 for 75 is not good stats at all.
It means formidable, brother. You know what I mean?
It is formidable. It's lackluster.
25, he had 25 long run, bro. 25 yard plus run. Excuse me.
Lackluster. Yeah, average 3.6 a carry. Enough. Under 100. No.
What you think, SB?
I think there's going to be a lot more running for Syracuse this year after the game. I think we overreacted to Tennessee's victory. I don't think Tennessee's a great team either. Tennessee's going to get what's coming to them when conference play comes from them playing each other last week, but it's not a good team, man. They just lost so much. Some of the guys you already mentioned, Bacon, but last year was kind of a magical year in terms of having the talent and not having those expectations. And really catching folks off guards alongside the leadership of Fran Brown, was a great coach. But if this is what you're doing after UConn, get your running shoes ready, man. Because get your Hokas ready, get your New Balances, get your Nike running shoes ready, because they're going to be running a lot. You're talking about on the road at Notre Dame, on the road at
Mm,
Miami, on the
mm,
road at SMU, on the
mm,
road at Clemson, on the
mm.
road at Georgia Tech. Man, these
God.
boys are
Oh,
done for, man. And I
yeah.
think I'm missing one. There's still another road game that I'm missing this
Tennessee?
postseason.
I'm not Tennessee. I'm sorry. At SMU, at Notre Dame.
Clemson, Georgia Tech, Miami. Am I missing one? Oh, no, I think that's it. Lord have mercy. Good luck. If you're struggling at home at UConn with all this talent that you've lost, which I figured would be the case, yeah, they're gonna be running in the locker room or at the team hotel. A whole lot more moving forward.
It's a bad look, but somebody clip you like that, man, that'd be go viral. But since we're in the topic of the ACC, we didn't get to talk about it because they played on Monday. Coach Bill, man, Coach Bill didn't get the job done against TCU. I know they won against Charlotte. We're kind of going backwards to go forward, but I want to get real quick. Just what's your thoughts? Did y'all expect UNC to lose this bad, or did y'all expect them to lose it all against the Horned Frogs?
I think we talked about this last week, right?
Yeah,
No.
we headlined the game.
And
We
I
just didn't
picked
get a
TCU.
reaction after.
70
Okay.
transfers. I picked TCU, and I won some money off of it. So thanks, Coach Bill, for not handling business. Definitely helped me on the Hard Rock. But yeah, 70 transfers. You're kind of trying to speed up the process, man. You can't make a cake bake any faster than it's supposed to. Or at least you can. Still won't taste good. Gotta trust the process, man. And this team, I don't think is gonna be good this year, man. If they get to 7 wins, great. That's fantastic. But it's too much change between bringing the whole new staff, 70 new transfers. Rome wasn't built in a day. Um, and TCU really made us feel it, man. They put Bill to North Carolina. It looked like an incredible environment to be at. It looked fantastic, but that team's not that good this year. Let's be honest. I actually have one of their games October. What day is that? October 17th. They play at Cal, so I'll be there to watch that freshman quarterback dice them up in person. But Travis Burgess, man, get there faster, man, because they sure as hell need you over there at UNC.
Nah, no question, no doubt about it, man. I think they got a case schedule, so I think 5 to 6, 7 should in that ballpark should be doable. But Clemson struggled mightily against the team from Alabama. You know what I'm saying? The home of John Lewis, a boy from Troy, 27-16 sub, 200-yard day passing for K Club Nick. And that's not getting the job done. Interception, 2 touchdowns. But I'm gonna start with you once again, man. You talked about this before we got to it, so I got to give it to you, man. Just is this a sign that we need to pump the brakes on Clemson, or do you think this is just a bad day for them at the office?
Tough to say, man. That was ugly. They were down 16-3 at half. Can't even blame the defense because Klubnik threw a pick six, so they don't really only allow 9 points. Then the defense pitched a shutout.
Yeah.
I think my concern ain't really defensively. It's on the offense. Gotta figure it out. Got too much talent to be struggling like this. You know what I'm saying? We seen it last week. We kind of gave you a little bit of a pass to LSU. LSU might be for real. And then you go up and you do it again. Defensive line of Troy was kind of to a degree manhandling the offensive line. No, bro. You're gonna play a physical team next week. And peep this. We might talk about the Tech game later. Tech had 6 sacks and 13 tackles for loss today. I know they didn't play, a FBS opponent. They play FCS, but yeah, them boys on that D line hungry. You mess around and you don't block them boys. It's gonna be a long day. So I'm a little concerned. Not to the point where I don't think they're contender anymore, but they're gonna figure some things out. Cause that ain't gonna cut it at all. And maybe they need to run the ball a little bit more. Adam Reynolds been pretty efficient. He had 112 yards a day in the tub, but they got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Because what they put on tape ain't cutting it. Now, defense, I feel okay about straight, but offensively, nah, not gonna get it done.
100%. What you think, SB? You think this is a cry for help?
I think Naj is right. Offensively, there's just no synergy going on with them right now, and you know They lied to us, man. They told us that this guy's an elite quarterback. I've never
Mm,
been high on Klubnik. They said the two best Heisman odds were him and Arch Manning. I
yes, they
mean,
did.
at home, you're supposed to take care of business. Like, this is a money game. You pay Troy to come over there to essentially get killed, and that's not the case. I don't remember the last time they were down that much at halftime at home. Um, it's very, very interesting. You know, their game next week, one of the bigger games of the year in regards to, a variety of reasons, right? ACC implications, things like that. Um, I think Clemson's a bit vulnerable offensively right now. Their defense is legit. But how much longer do they have to play, continue to play, be on the field, and try to save the offense, man? That stuff starts to wear on you, and then you start catching a couple injuries down the line, anything can happen. So that offense needs to do a better job complementing that defense. But next week's a big one. Um, I think all of us will be at that game. That's huge. Is Haynes King healthy enough to play in the game and be effective? That might be the difference in the game.
Even if he ain't, that boy, Aaron Follow was slaying that thing today, big dog. But I think, Najee having more inside track, but I'm pretty sure Haynes will be. I'm sure he'll be ready next week. I'm sure he had that chance to trap. Maybe a little loose because way that offensive line blocking. But
I'm there to see it, man. I'm excited. Can't wait.
I'm saying another thing to piggyback off of your point, Najee, we probably might as well just go ahead and say we're in the tech. But just the defensive line, maybe the linebackers too, because those, I'm saying, Coach Gideon, he drawn up these tic-tac-toe blitzes, I'm saying, coming from every angle. The guys just, saying, they itching to get out the ball. A lot about maybe about 4 or 5 offsides, I'm saying, or false start penalties a day. You saw the same thing with Amari, who came down and we just got the scuba score for the touchdown, but it just seems a sense of urgency just to get a sack. I want to get a sack. If he got a sack, I need to get a sack, or I need to get a TFL. So when he started to get that infectious energy to do that, that's a good sign. But you do want to clean up the unnecessary flags, because like the announcer said today, or the reporters or the analysts, I'm saying, it can cost you in big games. But they clean that up, and I'm saying, or at least calm it down a bit, but just keep the same urgency. I'm saying, that'll take you a long way. But nonetheless, 59-12, barely covered the spread. I'm not sure. I didn't really see a spread on ESPN bet. I was looking
Like
for
37.5.
37.5. Oh, yeah.
That's a boat with him, bro. That game wasn't even close. Them boys got a pump block return for a touchdown. They got 2 points robbed for them on special teams. They got a block punt again. Will Kiker returned it all the way home. They didn't want to give it to him for an inadvertent whistle. Like, them boys put up 60 on them, bro. You know what I'm saying? If we being for real. Straight domination. And the crazy part is they had 2 turnovers on 2 possessions again. They had 5 turnovers in 5 quarters. So they really could have put up like 70, 80 points on this team.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So, for me, and to your point, Bacon, with everyone wanting to get a sack, it's true. Because after the game, Montre Bradford literally said that. Mirrored the same sentiment. Like, we seen defensive tackle got sacks. We was like, yo, we trying to get some sacks too. You know what I'm saying? He had 5 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. Right? You had the Kilo Stone, who had a sack and a half. You had Andre Fuller with a tackle for loss. Right? You had Christian Garrett, who had a sack today.
Mm-hmm.
And they forced their first turnover today as well. Clayton Powell with a big hit that forced a turnover. So I think when your defense is getting back there, and to your point, the hunger and wanting to create negative plays, after a while, SB, I think, will agree with this. But the more, negative plays you create, the more it's going to lead to turnovers and things like that. That's what Georgia Tech's doing right now. Now, again, that was against Gardner-Webb, but he did the same thing last week. They were creating negative plays, right? And I think it's going to only transition. And these young thoroughbreds, yo, they ain't playing. So it ain't got to be Braden Manley. It ain't got to be Jordan Vanderberg. This Christian Garrett from Prince Avenue, this obviously you know him well, SB. This Andre Fuller from Grayson, you know what I'm saying? These guys is hungry. Amontre Bradford, who today Coach Key called him like a Greek god.
Yeah.
Boy, it's chiseled up. Them boys ain't playing. So I think the defense is better than it was last year. Last year was pretty decent. They'll be even better this year, man. They rotate all their linebackers. They rotate their cornerbacks. Dalen Pinson was out there. Elgin Sessions was out there. They got everything they need, man. So this team's hungry, and I think they'll be just fine.
Listen, Tate, man, just wanted to shout out SB Media for bringing the great insight on tonight's episode, brother. Definitely salute to you, brother.
Thank you, the Blitz Take. Always a pleasure, guys.
I mean, I gotta agree to your point, Naj. I figured we see a little bit of everybody. That's why I got an idea, just an inkling that it may be, since they played Gardner Webb. Let's go ahead and get it back up a little. Burn today. Let's sit hands down for the big game next week. Let's see what the young guys look like. Like you said, you saw Christian Garrett, number 98. You just said his name. Well, it looked like a Greek guy. Had 2 sacks today. Akilo Stone, like you said, I believe you said Akilo had a good game. Saying the 2-headed monsters, Malachi Hosley, Jamal Haynes, looking like it might be the best running back tandem in the ACC, and then we'll go from there as time comes around.
They talked about wanting to be that. They looked at what the Penn State running backs did, and Hosley said in his press conference, "We think we could be the best tandem in the league, so we wanted to one up them."
I think they got a formidable shot, man. Look real good tonight. Of course, you saw the some other backs coming at the end of the game, but those two really held it down. 45 plus touchdown runs, really around the same spot on the field, which I think Malachi's was a little longer, but very, very, very pleased. And even Graham knows, man, the little to Dean Patterson. That was nice to see, man. If you were at the dive today, man, it was a show. It was a spectacle, man. You got your money's worth. You know what I'm saying? So good win. I just think everybody's, everybody's biting their nails, biting at the bit to see them play Clemson. And I think right now, man, I don't think it's a bad call to say Georgia Tech by at least 10 right now, the way Clemson looks. But that's why you play. That's why you play the game, man.
Go ahead, SB. That's a bold take, but
I won't go that far, but I respect his take. We'll see. It's going to be a close game. Whoever turns the ball over more is going to lose. Might be one of those games whoever has the ball last wins. I need to see. I don't know, man. It's going to be a tough one to pick, but really, really, really tough game. I don't remember the last time. Clemson typically plays pretty well against Georgia Tech. It's not like Miami or anything, but it's going to go down to the wire, man. And it's huge. And for college football fans, it's an early game. So take it all in, and then enjoy the rest. It's a great setting of the table. For having a noon game on a Saturday. I mean, this is as good as it gets. You don't get noon games like this ever. 2 ranked opponents, ACC implications, huge game. So I can't wait for it. I'm excited.
So we don't want to do any predictions. We just want to let it play out.
Wait in the other segment. Can we look ahead to week 3? So we do our predictions there.
All right. That's a bit. That's a bit. All right. Let's see what we got next. Top performers. Week 2. I started off. I think we already talked about one, the tandem. Malachi Hosley, Jamal Haynes. That's a big one. That's another one. You gotta throw John Mateer in that batch. And the third, I'm gonna go off the top of my head. I gotta go Baylor's quarterback, over 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. Get the cream off the top because I know y'all gonna bring in some more detailed picks. So SB, I'm gonna go to you, brother. What you got?
Yeah, Mateer was definitely one of my guys, for sure. I mean, Mateer is a lot of folks didn't know him because he was out there playing at Washington State before late games. Air raid quarterback, throws a great ball, super confident. Oklahoma, honestly, top 5 transfer addition this season, man. It's huge that they were able to get him with his veteran leadership and winning a game like today. Doesn't have to have the greatest stats, man, but if you're able to right the ship, I think that's huge for proof of concept, recruiting, transfer portal implications, a variety of different things. Byron Brown, even though his stats weren't necessarily great, that's huge going down there in the swamp and winning. I think that's another one that you might want to look into. I'm trying to think of any of the guys. Mississippi State's quarterback, 100% has to be in the conversation. You're beating a ranked team. You're able to outduel Sam Levitt, who's a veteran quarterback in his own right. Um, I think that's huge, man. I think those would be the guys that I'm going to go ahead and put as helmet sticker or players of the week, in my opinion. What say you, Nash?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with y'all. I'm gonna go Sawyer Robinson, 440 yards and 4 touchdowns. You definitely get my player of the game. You know what I'm saying, or my helmet sticker, I should say. That was a phenomenal performance on the road, major upset. So I gotta give him credit. I gotta go next, Luke Altmaier. How he looked on the road against Duke, he was phenomenal. Him slicing and dicing that defense, being physical. Laying a shoulder, like that's what you want to see. And I think this team could potentially be this year's Indiana. I really do. I think they have everything at their disposal in order to make a sneaky run to the college football playoff and make some noise. You know what I'm saying? So why they can't do that this year with Luke Allmeyer. So that would can be my second game ball. And then the third one, I would have to give it to the Georgia Tech running game. You know what I'm saying? I got to give it to Malachi Hosey and Jamal Haynes combined for nearly 200 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns today, over 225 yards rushing total between everybody. It was phenomenal, man. Being able to run at that high of a level definitely says a lot, man. So those would be my game balls.
100%. The bonus one, I know this is our topic. Y'all can definitely do me the thumbs down. Coach performance. Who are the best coach of the day?
Alex Golish.
Alex Golish.
A good one.
Yeah, man. I think he has to be there. But Venables, man. I think this was a big one for Venables. Talking about a guy who potentially was in the hot seat going into this season. You're 2-0. You beat a blue blood, a ranked team, college game day. Vibes are good over there in Norman. So shout out to our boy Andrew Beard, who's out there enjoying his visit. I'll talk to him, talk to his folks tomorrow, see how they're feeling about it. But gotta be Venables, man. You need games like this and reception before you go into conference play. And there's a lot of teams that schedule cupcakes at this time of year, and they played Michigan and took it on the chin, was able to dominate that game. So I'd say Venables. What say you guys?
Good question. I'll start. I would say game ball has to definitely go to. I can't hold on. I gotta make sure I get the man name right. Give me 1 second. I don't want to name. Yeah, I'm gonna go Jeff Leby. To win that game at home against Arizona State, man, that's not easy to do. So I think he deserves credit for that. Arizona State was a team that won the Big 12 last year, right? Got all the way to the quarterfinal. Not the same team, right? Don't have obviously Cam Scatterbo, but you can still have Sam Leavitt. You still have Jordan Tyson. So it's still a team that's pretty competitive and good. To win that at home, a team that's rebuilding, by the way, SB, that's pretty elite play, man. You know what I'm saying? So he gives my coach a performance today for being able to win that big game at home. That's going to shake up some rankings. I think we have 4 or 5 ranked losses today, SB. So I definitely think that's going to help them out a lot. And I'm not saying they'll be ranked, but they're definitely going to be on the eyes of some of the committee members for sure.
I'll say Dave Arnada at Baylor. And keeping his team even killed, keeping his team, motivated to go into a hostile environment like SMU has got a lot that had they had high expectations for themselves, especially in a conference that's wide open. So want to give him a shout out, and also want to shout out Marcel Reed for doing this thing out of Tennessee, playing at Texas A&M. I like his game, so that'll conclude. Week 2 recap. So going into week 3.
That was a performance as well. I like that segment.
All right, bet. Hey, man, I'm saying I do. Yeah, Eddie, yes, sir. I see you adding right now, brother. So looking ahead, week 3.
Yeah, let's do game picks too. Early on. Go ahead, Bacon.
All right. Might as well start Georgia Tech Clemson. I said 10 points. I'll start. I'll say Georgia Tech.
You don't usually choose Georgia Tech.
What'd you say?
I said that's bold. You don't usually choose Georgia Tech.
What you mean, brother? I only picked against them against Colorado, brother.
It was not a smart pick, brother.
I believe in Coach Pine. I believe, brother. Do you believe?
They started 3 quarterbacks today.
Do you believe that?
They said Staub looked better than all 3 of them.
Yeah, how did you do today, man? Because we on that topic.
I don't know. I didn't get to see it. I was at the game, but I heard the dude Staub played out 3 of them. SB might be able to say a little bit more, but that's what I heard.
I heard the same thing. I haven't watched the film yet, but yeah, man. I don't care
So,
what quarterback you got. When you got Pat Shermer as your OC, it ain't gonna look too good.
mm,
I
That's
think people
tough.
really underrate what Shador was able to do last year. Yeah,
Definitely.
good luck to them.
mm.
So go ahead
Yeah,
with your
And
pick,
I,
Lakin. What you got?
So I say we'll say GT. Uh
you're confident in the pick.
no, I'm trying to think like if I want to go in the 30s or I want to go high 20s. You know, I want so for the sake of that, man, we'll go 28, 28, 28, 20. 28, 20 GT. What about you, SB?
27-24, Georgia Tech.
27,
End it
24,
off with a
Georgia
field
Tech.
goal. Yeah, I think Clemson gets upset here, and now Clemson can't afford to lose another game for the rest of the season. At least even in the conference play, they can't afford to lose another game. So this really puts them in a position where they've really been in. I think they were in a couple years ago where they started off 2-2, and it would be a huge indictment if this team doesn't at least get to Charlotte. They're the favorite in the conference. They have all this NFL talent. But why not, man? I'm a fan of chaos, so I think they lose next week. My
Like
record
that.
says it: 4 games, 4 upsets. I'm just here to say it. Clemson
Hey,
will be
me,
favored. It won't be by a lot, but Clemson will be favored this week. I don't know if the spreads come out yet. I got the home team winning this one. I just wish it was a
me.
night game. That's all.
Yeah, right. I mean, I know next week's a big week. We're gonna talk about other games, but come on, you couldn't even give us 3:30.
Man.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Oh, what we doing?
Don't worry, I'll have my hat. What hat will you guys have? Don't worry about it. Don't answer that question. The sun will not be in my face next week. I can assure you that.
What you think, Naj?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Georgia Tech too. Maybe Clemson will surprise us. I know everybody's concerned about the Haynes King injury, which I've heard is a hip injury. It's not a shoulder injury. Everybody's on social media talking about that. His shoulder's chronic and he can no longer throw a deep pass, like just talking at that point. But yeah, man, I want to see Georgia Tech take the challenge. They've done it before. Coach Keys pulled off big wins against top opponents, right? Did it last year against Miami. Like he's privy to it. He's not something that he's become known for. So I want to see him do it again. And I really would like to see Georgia Tech ranked this week. And I want to see them do it as a ranked team that's getting a lot of buzz around them. And I want to see them handle business, whoever it is. Haynes King should be able to start. But if he doesn't, I believe in Follow that he's able to do it. He's that guy. Showed that today. 2 turnovers early. That's all Georgia Tech got to clean up. Clean up the turnovers, clean up the penalties. You should be just fine. You can run the rock. You're physical on the offensive line. You know what I'm saying? You can hit the deep shot plays down the field. You got weapons all over. You got the team you need. So this is how you make a statement. And what better way? Noon, ABC, no, everybody else is watching. Do it right there. And I think it'd be good for the ACC. To SB Prod's point, like it'd be great for the ACC. Shake it up a little bit. Oh, we got a new team coming up, the ranks, and the team that we're gonna watch the rest of the season. So going Tech.
Solid. Second prediction, Joe. What was this? What would they? Oh, okay. I see what you're doing. Georgia versus Tennessee. Georgia going to Rocky Top. I'm gonna take Georgia, bro. I'm gonna take Georgia. Got to, man.
Mm-hmm.
Got to. Yeah. If I was a betting man, I'd definitely bet on this game. Big money. But I'm gonna take UGA. I'm gonna say 35-10, somewhere around in there.
That's disrespectful, but okay.
35-10 dogs. What you got, SB?
I got Georgia. I got Georgia 24-17.
Thank you.
I think Georgia's been sleepwalking so far this year. No. I think Georgia's been sleepwalking. They haven't shown you what they really can do. I think they're the more typically in these type of games between Georgia and Tennessee, the more physical team wins. More often than not, Georgia is that. I think Kirby's gonna have them ready this week. They haven't been impressive this year yet, in my opinion, but I think they're gonna out physical Tennessee. And I think they win the game. They find a way to win the game next week. It's just Kirby Smart just doesn't lose games like this. If you're gonna tell me he loses to Texas or he loses to whatever, maybe he loses to Florida, okay, maybe, but he doesn't lose games like this. They're still trying to figure it out, but that physicality travels. They're gonna pack that up with the toothbrush, with the toothpaste, and the soap and all that. It's coming with it. Um, they're gonna go ahead and hit some stuff. And Tennessee is ascending, but not next week. I think Georgia wins the game.
Yeah, I think what better statement to make than beating Georgia for Tennessee, right? You've been hitting on the shot plays. A lot of people think Aguilar is already better than Nico right now, right? You've hit them 73-yard bombs to Braylon Staley. You've hit them 50-yard bombs to Mike Matthews today, right? Offense is rolling. They set a school record 79 points today. Yes, it was East Tennessee State, but your team did put up 45 and 75. You ain't got to put up that much against Georgia. Let's say you put up a 30 ball. You definitely can make a statement doing that, right? And to your physicality point, the offensive line is a problem, right? David Sanders ain't even played yet, the true freshman. I think he's going to be probably back for this one. This is a good test to see how for real that offensive line is against that Georgia defensive front, right? You got the running backs in Deshaun Bishop, Star Thomas, who had 2 touchdowns today, looked really good. Miles Kitselman, Ethan Davis, want to see them more involved. You should be able to handle your business. And like you said, Coach Smart don't lose these type of games. What better statement if you Coach Hypo and you Tennessee and you Rocky Top to show the world, hey, y'all said we want to go be ish this year. Oh, we 3-0 and we beat Georgia. So, and you at home. You got the home atmosphere. Neyland Stadium is one of the top stadiums in the country. Now, we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to go upset, though. I'm going to go upset. I'm going to go upset. I'm going to go Tennessee, man. Tennessee, they win 31-24. Upset.
31-24. There you have it. Speaking of upset, it's gonna go crazy at Rocket Top. Cigar smoke gonna be everywhere. It'll be a great scene. Next one is Florida LSU. Florida LSU. I know SB already kind of stamped your flag in the ground, so I'm gonna start with you right here, brother. I know you're taking LSU, but what's your score prediction?
Score prediction. I'm gonna go 23. I'm gonna go 23-14. LSU. Where dreams go to die. Death Valley stands up next week, and they make a statement about being Florida. Now Florida's on the clock. You lose an SEC game, now things get real. Now you're desperate. If you want to get to Atlanta, can't really afford too much more than that. Maybe one more SEC loss, maybe. But outside of that, man, anything more than 2 SEC losses, you're cooked. But I got LSU win.
Man, I really want to see Florida pull the upset off, man. I just a big fan of Lagway, but it didn't look good today, man. I need to see some consistency if I'm a risking for the biscuit. So for that case, I'm gonna roll with LSU. I'm gonna say keep it modest. We'll say 20-28. I'm liking the 10. I'm not 28-10 LSU. 28-10. What you like, Nash?
Yeah, I'm think I'm gonna roll with y'all. I want to pick Florida. I believe in DJ Lagway. It's just I was ugly at home. To think you can go on the road in Death Valley and have that same performance, you might get run out the building. Yeah. I don't know. You could got a top back in the SEC and Jaden Ball, who's established himself even as a sophomore. Lagway's supposed to be that dude. I still think he is, but yeah, I got to see you go do it. You mean I think they lost 7 of the last 8 to LSU, right? They got a win last year, which was cool. Yeah, I got to see it because LSU look like a darn problem right now. I'm gonna go LSU, 35-21.
Okay, giving the offense some life. I like that.
Yeah.
Next one is USF versus Miami. I'm gonna roll with Miami here. I think the undefeated streak. I think it ends in they're playing in Miami.
Miami.
In Miami.
It's gonna end at Hard Rock. I like Miami. 25. So say we'll keep it consistent. 28. 28-17. 28-17 like Miami, man. I like what Carson Baker's doing, and I damn sure like Malachi Tony. SB.
Yeah, I'll agree with your score. I think Miami will take care of business. USF super emotional, hard fought win for USF this week, but I don't think they're going to Miami and win next week. If they do, then you're looking at that group of five uh, team that'll probably be holding that banner to be represented in the playoffs at the end of the season. So that's what USF is playing for respect. I don't think it'll be enough, man. I think they still have respect to folks, but I think Miami will go ahead and win. They'll be able to run the ball a little bit better than, more effectively than Florida was able to. I don't think Beck will turn over the ball. I think they win the game. I like your same score prediction, 28-17.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Y'all score a little bit higher. I'm gonna go Miami 35-17. This would probably be a game that's close at the start, but Miami pulls away. But like you said, SB, if they can go in there and win, you definitely look at a team that can win. You know what I'm saying? Getting obviously to college football playoff, which be cool. And we need a team like that. We need a USF, SB, because we far too often see, those other group fives go in and they get manhandled. This USF team, like, they could probably play with anybody in the country, which could be beneficial. But I'm gonna go Miami 35-17 till I can see them go do that in their stadium. They Miami got everything they need, man. They look physical in the trenches, good team, roll them with them.
100%, man. And to their point, I mean, they've been turning heads for the past 3 or 4 years. They beat Bama twice, or I think they beat them once, and I'm gonna take them to the wire a second time.
Mm-hmm.
So to kind of see them do this is not really a surprise, but definitely shout out to that program. Shout out to you, Coach Evans, if you tuned in. Doing your thing out there, man. What I'm saying, with the player personnel, brother. Triple salute. Next team or next game on the docket, Gamecocks versus the Commodores. I like the game. What's up?
I said I can start this one. I'm gonna go South Carolina. Then they should be able to win that one. I know Vanderbilt came off a big win on the road against Virginia Tech, but South Carolina should handle business. Good quarterback. I didn't get to see the game today. I know he was playing against South Carolina State. Game got delayed. But just seeing him be able to protect, Lenore's a little bit better. Bigger, shot plays down the field. Defense played really good. Strong defensive front. I'm going with the Gamecocks. 31-14.
I agree. You said 31-14. That's not a bad prediction. I say 30. We'll say 35, man. 35. 35-10. 35-10. Field goal, winning touchdown.
I'll go South Carolina as well. Down 30-20.
30-20.
Mm-hmm.
Why 20?
I think Vanderbilt will probably maybe put up a couple touchdowns first half, and then things slow down for them in the second half. Is it a night game? Do you guys know if that's a night game?
I believe it is. I just had up the scoreboard.
It's pretty loud in Williams-Brice, but I think they're able to get a couple touchdowns, a couple field goals, and that'll be it, really.
745 SEC Network.
Yeah, maybe the Lenore Seller show, man. I think South Carolina is trying to continue to prove that they're legit, and this is just another opportunity for them to do that and to get an SEC win under the belt. Doesn't matter who it is, you get an SEC win. That's a big deal. So I like them winning 30-20.
Got it.
All right, last one, man. Texas A&M, Notre Dame. This is a good one. This is a real good one. Let me look at whoever wants to go first. I'm gonna look at Texas A&M, see what they've been doing defensively. See if I want to pick them for an upset here.
Well, last year, SB, they played them tough. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Texas A&M did. I don't know. I think it's tough. Obviously, bye week this past week for Notre Dame. CJ Carr got to play a little bit better. He's a true freshman, though. But see, you see some good things and some bad things. They got to get Jeremiah Love more involved. That's not going to cut it. You know what I'm saying? My humble opinion, if they're trying to be good this year. Defense looked really stout for the most part against Miami, did their thing. But like I said, Carr has to be a little bit better. Got to run Jeremiah Love more. But you got some pieces. You got Reardon. You got Malachi Fields. You got Faison. So, I like Marcel Reed. That's just a tough environment to win in South Bend. So I'm going to go with Notre Dame. I'm gonna go 24-17 victory.
I'm gonna take Texas A&M other way, 24-17 Aggie way.
Notre Dame 27, Texas A&M 17. I
Say it
haven't
one more
seen
time.
Texas A&M 27-17 Notre Dame. Um, I haven't seen Texas A&M consistently win, be able to close out games. If they do this year, then um, it's a new narrative. But Mike Elko and that team last year, I mean, honestly, they should have probably been in Atlanta, but they couldn't close games. Late in games, they couldn't close games. So Notre Dame and South Bend is a tough place to play, but I think it's the same old Texas A&M, man. Something about that program just can't close. So I like Notre Dame winning, getting on the field, on the winning end of things, and hopefully CJ Carr can pass the ball a bit better. We know he can do some design runs and things that way, but if he can get in the rhythm, then maybe the score's a little bit more than I predict. But I got Notre Dame winning.
That's fair. That's fair. But I think it's gonna be for Notre Dame. Like Nachi, I think they gotta get Jeremiah Love way more involved. I like what CJ Carr did against Week 1 against Miami, but I think Love only had 19 carries. I like to see that number around 22, 25 for him, especially if he's throwing that thing 5-6 yards a touch. So that's gonna be good. But I mean, reason why I'm so high on Texas A&M, obviously, because Marcel Reed, man, they just got big time written all over him. And keep the turnovers low, which he's been doing a good job of this year. I just think he's got the X factor. I think he's going to be a hell of a quarterback on the next level, so Saturday and beyond. But we'll see. That's why you lace up the chin strap, man. So next Saturday, 7:30 p.m. at Arrow Bend. It's gonna be a good one to see, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, if we don't have any more, go ahead, brother.
Uh, as we wrap up, I want to ask you fellas one quick hot take as we wrap up the show for tonight. Obviously, I know you guys been going for a little minute. I know everybody's tired, so we'll wrap up the show. One hot take as we go out of here. SB, I'm gonna start with you. Just anything you've seen or anything you want to point out. You can do a play. I know we did top performance, but player, program, a coach. Just hot take before we go.
Big 12 is still wide open. Big 12 is going to consistently be wide open. That's going to be the conference. I don't doesn't necessarily have some of the glitz and glamour with some of the teams, but if you're a big fan of college football, keep an eye on that every week. It's going to be ebbs and flows. It's going to be consistently changing, and you're going to want to keep an eye on that all the way until the end. So we're going to see who's the leader in the Big 12. I don't think we'll find out until the Big 12 championship, right? So that's my hot take, man. We don't know who's going to win that. It's probably 4 or 5 teams that legitimately have a shot. So keep an eye on that.
I'll say I'm laying on Georgia Tech here. If they beat Clemson this upcoming Saturday, I think they got a good chance to run the table until they see Georgia, and that's a questionable game. But I mean, this could be one of the better seasons in the ACC or in Atlanta for that matter. So if Georgia Tech beats Clemson this Saturday, I think they'll run the table until they meet Georgia at the Benz.
Bold take. Okay, smooth. I think we have 4 or 5 upsets this weekend. SB. I'm gonna go next week. I think we see. I'm gonna say I think we see double that number next week.
Oh,
Double that
wow.
number.
Yeah. So if we had
That'll
like
be
3,
historic.
6, I think if we have 4, I think we'll see 8. I think we see double the upsets next week. It's my bold take.
Yeah, man. That's a lot. Not sure if you guys read SB Nation or not, or I think especially Bacon. I don't know if you were watching college football back then, but go back and look at 2007, man. It's one of the more interesting college football years of all time. I think there might have been 6 or 7 or 8 different number ones that year. Every week, somebody was getting upset. Somebody was getting dropped. So that's in terms of a fan, uh, that's what we want. If you're a betting man, that makes you scared. But
Right.
I'm with all the chaos, all the anarchy, man. So if Naj is right, then you're looking at a year like 2007, which is historic and upsetting, like every week. So I hope so, man. I hope you're right, Naj. I'm with it. You know, I hate looking at the box score and seeing all top 25 win. That's just boring to me. Um, that's what makes college football special. So yeah.
100%. Well, fellas, that's gonna do it for today's show. I know y'all boys is tired. Appreciate it, man. Week 2 college football recap show. We'll be back again next Saturday, same place, same time. Sorry, y'all had got busy, man, with obviously the reporting and obviously press conferences, man. And the game got delayed today too. So that's why I was not hosting. But in my spot, I heard him a little bit earlier. Bacon did a phenomenal job hosting the show by himself, bringing on SB. Shout out to you, brother. And remember, we are back on Monday for our Georgia High School football show as well. We got a lot to talk about. Real quick, SB, Julian didn't want to give us our credit for saying that Lovejoy would win. Came back from 21-0. So we're going to talk about all that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to give us no credit. Said we bet him push-ups. I think we bet him a little bit more than that. But we'll get into all that on Monday, man. And we'll see y'all at 6:05 then, man. But enjoy the rest of y'all night, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. And see y'all next week for the college football recap show. Till then,